Ready, Jill?
I am.
All right. Like to call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda are citizens' comments. For us, we have none. Before we entertain a motion to adopt the agenda, Dr. Williams has added an action item, big Roman numeral 7, sub item A, little Roman numeral 4, GMS East Media Center furniture. So with that addition, I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make a motion, we adopt Roman numerals 3, 4, and 5.
Second.
All right, we got a motion with the amendment by Mr. Nordholz to adopt big Roman numerals 3, 4, and 5, a second by Dr. Ramsey. All those in favor? Motion carries. All right. First item on the agenda, Mrs. Bethel with our bond rating.
Good evening. I'm so accustomed to going last. Thank you for this opportunity.
Since Mr. Fresnel's not here, we thought we'd let you.
We're gonna make him go last.
He'll be up short.
In preparing for going out to the bond market for the 2024 issue, the district engaged with Moody's investors for an updated credit rating. Credit ratings are used by investors who want to know the risk of buying bonds. Moody's issued a press release on April the 24th with our results. We're pleased to announce the district was assigned a AA2 underlying credit rating, which reflects a strong financial position. Underlying credit ratings assess the credit quality of the issuer without any special insurance or support from a financial guarantor. The district was assigned a AA1 enhanced rating. Enhanced ratings are the same but reflect a standalone credit quality, along with the state enhancement programs, which will aid in the case of debt service shortfalls. Credit ratings are letter grades ranging from AAA to C.
Investment grade is BBB minus.
Any questions on that? Comments?
Good news. Any questions on the bond rating?
That was the same as last year, correct?
Same.
Last time.
All right, in 2021.
All right, next item is the schedule for the millage rate adoption and the budget.
Back in January, I presented a budget timeline with some estimated time frames for the budget and millage rate adoptions. At this time, I'm bringing forward the finalized schedule. We'll begin with a newspaper ad on June 15th, which will announce on the upcoming meetings. On June 17th, we'll have the tentative budget adoption during the regular board meeting held here at the board office. On June 24th, we'll have the two call meetings, which will be 2 of the 3 required millage rate hearings. Those hearings will be held here at the board office at 5 p.m. and again at 6 p.m. On July 6th, we'll have a second newspaper advertisement announcing the 3rd and final hearing to be held at a called meeting on July the 15th at 11 a.m. here at the board office as well. And finally, on June 15th, we'll plan to adopt the final budget and millage rate during our regular meeting at 5:30 here at the board office as well.
So the first budget Kathy and I brought before the board a number of years ago, prior to that, we always did our budget separate from our millage rate. We were able to get our digest for the last 5, 6 years, all at the same time, where we could adopt both the budget and the millage rate at the same time. The digest right now is being delayed a little bit. We're not anticipating to get it until late May, early June, which is what's caused this delay in time. So one of 2 things could happen. We could either do what we're doing, which is pass a spending resolution that allows us to not adopt a budget until June. And that way we can adopt both the budget and the millage rate, or we can adopt a budget, wait a month for the millage or digest to come in and then do the whole hearings again. So we said it'd probably be best for us to do a spending resolution that will cap the spending for that month. And then we'll bring that to you sometime in early June. And then we'll be able to adopt both the budget and the millage rate following all the requirements regarding the hearings in July.
And have you received any updates on when we'll receive the digest?
They still, last number I heard was May 31st. Hopefully it's before then, because keep in mind, this also impacts City of Gainesville, Hall County Schools, Hall County government. So all of us are in the same boat as far as meeting those deadlines and pushing it out just a little bit.
Do you have to have quorum for all of those?
No, I have to have a quorum, yes, so just 3 out of 5.
All right, are there any other questions, Ms. Pepper or Dr. Williams?
And I know when you look at these dates and all, it looks kind of like it may be spread out a little bit. There are requirements that one has to be held at 11, one has to be held at 6, and newspaper has to run it a week or so ahead of time. So there's just a lot of things that we have to meet on that day.
Thank you, Ms. Beth. All right, Ms. Collins, there's Ms. Collins.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So as we are winding down this school year, we are in the heat of the next school year. So I brought forth to you tonight our new teacher orientation. And so you are of course invited for any and all events, but especially our Waffle House catered breakfast on Wednesday, July 24th. We will have it at 51 Field. Last year, we did the truck. This time we're doing the buffet, so it shouldn't take us long. So we encourage you to please stop by and have a free breakfast on us. And then everyone will get to meet, of course, all of you, for those of you that are able to attend, as well as the board, the cabinet people and directors and everyone else. And then Thursday, Jill will show up. They'll report to their school for the day. And then on Friday, they've got the mental health first aid training. So 3 days of new teacher orientation.
And unfortunately, it'll all be here before we know it.
Yep. Any questions of Mrs. Collins?
Ms. Ocean, sorry, strictly teachers.
For this event, it's gonna be the teachers and then of course the admin will come to that, and we always have you guys here. We do have like folks that are not teachers, they come for like 1 day of it, and so typically they would probably come for that first day, but then some of them break it out, if they're like paraprofessionals.
And just from our past experience, breakfast weather is much better than lunch weather. And so last year was very pleasant before it got really hot. And so we did enjoy the breakfast from Waffle House.
Oh, and let me take this time to inform Mr. Niles that I will need tables and tablecloths and chairs for that event.
And tents.
And tents.
Do you need that on the record, Ms. Collins?
Yes. Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, first action item, Mrs. Shay Ray with the CTAE 2-year plan.
You don't hear my teeth chattering, I'm sorry, it's cold in here to me for some reason. A little chilly, so if you hear my teeth chattering, I'm not nervous, I'm just cold. Okay, every 2 years, the Career Technical and Agricultural Education Division of the Georgia Department of Education requires districts to conduct a comprehensive local needs assessment. We also refer to that as the CLNA. We love acronyms in education, as you guys know, and I know there's a bunch of them on this sheet. And we use the results of that CLNA to develop a local plan. And even though it is a 2-year plan, approval is required annually in order for us to receive the Perkins funds, and Perkins is a federal grant. And so what that means is next year, we will revise the plan, we will look at it again, but we don't have to go as in depth as we did this year for the 2-year plan. And so I'll be coming before you again about the same time next year with any revisions that we make to the plan. The funds are required, I put in the report, may be used for, but they're actually required to be used for improving, enhancing, and expanding CTAE programs. They look at our plan to make sure we're not spending the funds on the same things year over year. They really want us to expand our CTAE program. So they want to make sure that we're keeping up with the times, that all of our labs are meeting industry standards and those things. The district is also required to match Perkins 5 funds to further support the program and for us to receive the grant. So what that means is, if we receive $70,000 in Perkins 5 funding, the district has to match that with at least $70,001 of local funds. But I'm very happy to report that we tend to generously go above that match, and we're grateful for that. There are 6 mandated activities to improve CTAE programs, and you can see those listed there. I'm not going to read those to you. But if you look down at the bottom of the action steps for the 24-25 school year, you will notice that each one of those bullets does directly tie to one of those mandated activities. So we're going to continue the work of our multi-year workforce development plan, which includes working with our industry partners and CTAE professionals to determine additional pathways for industry certification, develop and revise programs of study, and connect employability skills K-12. We're going to support our CTAE professionals in all of their professional development needs. We're going to identify skills and support the academic areas of ELA, math, and science to promote achievement in the core content areas. Provide CTAE lab equipment as determined by classroom walkthroughs or by feedback from our industry partners. Increase participation in work-based learning, dual enrollment, career and technical student organizations, also known as CTSOs, and industry partner advisory councils. And continuing the vertical alignment of our CTAE courses across all levels, elementary and middle.
And a lot of these same items have been brought up in the discover portion of our strategic planning. And so there's a pretty good alignment with both of those, and some of the verbiage from the strategic plan we pulled from here, and some from the strategic, or from here we pulled from the strategic plan, vice versa. So it's, they're definitely aligned in both ways.
Questions, comments?
Aren't you relieved that no one's here to ask you how you're gonna incorporate more A? into
I was
the
ready,
CTA?
I was ready.
Any other questions? That was an annual event.
Well, we do have, I think construction is working on some greenhouses for.
And like for this next year, we transitioned this past year, food science to culinary. We're adding electrical to the construction pathway this next year that we haven't had. A lot of that depends on the talent of the instructors, and so we've been able to really target their skill sets to kind of grow it a little bit more. And just so you know, one of the things we're doing with Horizon Academy is 7th period at Horizon for our newcomers will actually be on the Gainesville High School campus where we can utilize the CTA teachers so that the students at Horizon can take NJROTC, health and PE, construction, healthcare, science, art, and other classes.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to adopt the plan?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Young,
Second.
second by Dr. Ramsey. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Ray. Mr. Presnell.
I'm bringing before y'all tonight is we're looking to replace existing carpet flooring with LVT and carpet tile flooring at Centennial, Fair Street, Gainesville Elementary, New Holland, and Gainesville Middle School East. Our low bidder was AAA Commercial Flooring for $137,875 total. And we are recommending to the superintendent to enter into a contract with AAA Flooring.
So if you remember, last meeting, there was some furniture and media center that was paid through the ESSER funds, which you can't use those funds for like flooring and things like that. So we use the ESSER funds to handle the furniture and bookshelves and those things that we'll talk about at the moment, GMS East. And so the kind of the match part of that we're doing from a district standpoint is updating the carpet in those media centers to the LVT floor that we've got through all of those buildings at this point.
Any questions of Mr. Presnell? A motion to approve the expenditure.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Young, there a second?
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Norrells. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Presnell.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Williams,
Yeah,
on
Gainesville.
resolution.
Yeah, Gainesville City School today went to market. I'd like to invite Fred Seifman from Stewart, Melvin Frost, and Brian Husky from Steeple to give us an update about all the documents you see on here and the legalese behind that, but also the day we had regarding the pricing for those bonds. So gentlemen, whichever one of you would like to go first.
Thank y'all. Brian Husky with Steeple. Try to talk about some of the documents in a second, but as indicated, we did utilize the rating that Kathy mentioned earlier to go out into the market today and price the bonds. Basically to provide about $11.135 million of project funding for building improvements, building acquisition. I think that going into the market, we expected a good reception. We got that reception, actually got a better reception than anticipated. Ended up going in this morning and repricing the bonds a couple of basis points even stronger because of the bids that we got in. So at the end of the day, we ended up funding at 2.97% interest rate. What that equated to is about $1.3 million of annual debt service that would be SPLOST supported, as I understand it. One thing I would point out is that typically for bonds, we price in a 10-year call option. Well, these are 10-year bonds, so we didn't anticipate having the ability to call them in early. But due to market dynamics, we were able to price in a 7.5-year call option, which basically gives you the flexibility that, you know, if you just have the SPLOST collections or other revenue sources, you can call those bonds in early and save about $350,000, $400,000 of interest in that process. So it gives you flexibility going forward. But as it is now, you're looking at, works within the budget that I think you all were looking at the $1.2 to $1.3 million of SPLOST that would be used to pay for that service. And with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
And just to make sure I understand, so I understand the interest portion, but how much was the total that was coming to us for the purchase?
So we're getting 11.135. And then the estimated issuance expenses, so although we went to market at 10.24, because of the premiums, we were able to get that 11.3-ish total number. And so we had 10.6 for the building. We had the commission of around 150 and then about $350,000 worth of renovations.
Okay, so that'll cover all the
That covers
renovations
all of
we
it.
had discussed. Okay. Great.
Any other questions for Brian? Okay, Trevor.
Thank you.
Good evening. So what is proposed is an adoption of an ancillary bond resolution by the board. This bond issue is structured a little different from your prior general obligation bonds that we did 2 or 3 years ago. This one is done through the Gainesville and Hall County Development Authority, under which the school district will enter into an installment sale agreement with the authority. And that installment sale agreement will provide for payments equal to the payments on the bond. So it represents sort of the bond debt for the school district, but the actual issuer of the bonds will be the Gainesville and Hall County Development Authority. And then the installment sale agreement will be assigned to secure the bonds, assigned to the trustee, and the school district will just make the installment sale payments, but they really represent the payments on the bonds. And at the end of the day, then the school system will get the project back from the development authority. And by doing that, we were able to, one, put the credit of the school district on the bond issue, but also it allowed us to go ahead and acquire the project through the development authority. So it's a pretty common transaction for local governments to use the authority for that. In fact, we approved at the meeting today, the authority's already approved this transaction for the school system, but we approved a similar transaction for Flowery Branch for their water plant. The same sort of transaction where they're an installment sale agreement with Flowery Branch to do their new sewer plant. So it will also, this resolution will approve the school district participating in the intercept program with the state, which y'all, some of you who have done I'm not sure who was here the last time I was here, but that allows the state to sort of guarantee your bonds and get a better credit rating. As Kathy mentioned, you know, with the intercept program, it's AA1 credit rating, and without it, you would be a AA2. AA2 is a really good rating, but that one notch better saves you interest rate costs. The better the credit rating, the lower the interest costs. And so this will also approve the intercept program. And finally, it approves execution of a bond purchase agreement with Brian and Stiefel Nicholas for the sale of the bonds to Stiefel Nicholas at the interest rates and pricing he showed you just a minute ago.
And the last time we did this with Development Authority was when the current GMS East was built and went over budget by a good bit. And so it's not something we do often, but for a smaller amount, it is something that we have used a couple of times.
Question?
Any questions, Mr. Seifman?
In essence, this gives the local government the right to enter the premises.
Yes.
If
We've actually
they
provided,
determined there was a
yeah,
reason to
the
do
installment sale agreement provides for the school district having possession, control, maintenance, all the repair obligations, but we're also going to, once the project's built out, the renovation, go ahead and convey the landing building back to the school district. So that's gonna occur before the end of the year. Now, the installment sale agreement will remain in place and you'll be obligated to make those payments, but you'll have title to the building before the end of the year.
We get to operate it.
Yeah, but essentially it gives all rights of control and operation and possession, repair, maintenance, use to the school district. Yeah. It's a good question.
But if somebody wanted to, legally, they could come into the building because from within the Hall County government.
No, it's not Hall County government, it's the Gainesville and Hall County Development
or the
Authority.
development.
And I assure you, there will be nobody from the
I'm
authority.
not suggesting they would, and I'm just saying,
Yeah.
based on this
Well,
agreement,
it
they could.
does have an inspection right, but I've done hundreds of these projects and they've never exercised that right.
My question, was just around the right.
Yeah,
They do
that's
have
right.
that right.
But again, we're providing, at the end of the renovation, we're gonna convey it back to the school district, so that'll all go away. Installment sale agreement will remain in place for the life of the bonds, so the obligation to make the payments would continue. But you'd go ahead and take title back from the development.
And similar to Brian's, the callable feature, can we prepay the installment?
That's correct.
Agreement early as well?
That's right. It provides that, it really gives you control over all of that. If you elected to prepay the installment sale agreement payments, then you call the bonds. And so you have the right to call the bonds, prepay the installment sale and have it paid off. That's correct. That's a good question too. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, I have a motion to approve the resolution. So, a motion by Mr. Young, second by Dr. Ramsey, all those in favor? Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it. Last item, for vote, Mr. President, I'm not coming back up.
No, this is mine. It's kind of more shades than it is, I guess, Fresnel. So this goes in line with the furniture that was previously approved for GEA and New Holland. This now allows us, and we were waiting on GMS East. We didn't get the numbers until late Friday. So that's why we did not have it on the agenda for Friday. But you can see the numbers in the amount of 75,000. Can we get a copy of that? Was that?
Yes.
So for this is, request to purchase flexible seating and furniture for Gainesville East Media Center. So it's from ESSER 3 carryover. We were able to use the Georgia State contract pricing for $75,480.68. So that would allow all the furniture improvements that go along with the flooring upgrades to match what we're doing at the other schools.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Mr. Norval, is that here second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Young, all those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Any discussion on it?
I've got a couple of things just as reminders. Ms. Flores sent out or gave to me, and I guess I sent it to y'all about the dates that are coming up, everything regarding graduation end of the year. Wednesday night, we have the scholarship night at 6 o'clock. Honorary diploma at 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock on Friday the 10th. Baccalaureate at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and then graduation the following week on that Friday night at 7:30. You want a good parking place, you might want to get there by 6:30-ish. earlier. This week is a very busy week. Congratulations to those who have seniors that are graduating.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn into executive session?
So moved.
Got a motion by Dr. Ramsey, do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Young, all those in favor? Thank you, everyone.